Hello YouTube and welcome back to Let's Play Bloons Super Monkey 2. In this episode we're actually going to be kind of sort of finishing the game, in a way, kind of, sort of. So let's see, we're going to be going on to Stage 5 of Zone 4, and as you can kind of see, there's nothing after this, which is kind of sad, which I guess is sort of a spoiler, I suppose. Not really, I mean it says it's the end of the game, and just going to double check, not the store, yes, okay, we're on hardware, just double checking. So this level, it's not that bad, I suppose. I mean, it's probably harder than I'm making it seem, just because there's a lot of lead and a lot of shielded balloons, a lot of black balloons as well, I suppose. So it could be hard, I suppose. If you do, like, again, this game, the difficulty of the game really depends on your research and whether or not you're willing to farm a little bit. Because like I've said before, I did a little bit of farming, but probably under an hour, at the very most under 2 hours of farming, basically just meaning going back and replaying the same level just to get more money and everything. So I really haven't done very much of that. And right now I'm actually I missed a lot of red blobs down here because I was focusing more on actually popping all the balloons. Because I want to be sure that I pop as many balloons as I can, so that I can get the bronze rank and actually go up against the boss, rather than focus too much on getting the blops and then miss a few balloons, which I don't really think is going to happen. Like, it's not a huge concern of mine, but specifically these streams that are coming out, you really need to get under them before they get too far in order to get a lot of popping. Now here is sort of like a mini boss, and I'm just gonna launch that that Moab, which is gonna do massive damage. And you can actually pop those black balloons with the Moab. Again, if you have the research for it and if you time your explosions right. Because I think at the highest research level, it's every 4 shots. So that means that you'd have to fire it like 3 times and then save it for that 1 point in order to blow up all those black balloons as well. So it is kind of worth it, and it's not entirely like necessary that you use the Moab, and definitely not necessary that you use the one that's able to blow up the black balloons, because as you can see, it's not even blowing up every single lead balloon, although I think that's more just because that arm on the side is sort of going in and out of screen, or off screen or on screen, so that sort of protects it for a little while, and that's why the Moab wasn't able to pop it. But with hotter cooldowns, so that you can use it more often, and then more research so that you can use more effectively more often, I suppose, then that can be really helpful. So now here's the boss, and if you might remember me saying that you should remember that this isn't exactly Bloons Tower Defense 5 Deluxe Edition in Bloons Super Monkey 2 form, I suppose, if that makes sense. Basically just because this isn't a ZOMG, as you might expect after fighting a BFB in the second zone. And like the third zone, which was basically just a giant squid, this boss is a giant metallic balloon, basically a giant lead balloon. Now, I don't think it has the same properties as an actual lead balloon, because my spike shots are able to hit it. It's not bouncing off or anything. But it just has the appearance of a lead balloon, and it has a lot of lead balloons around it. So I'm just going to always use the Moab as often as I can, because that's going to be really helpful in getting rid of this thing. Although, as you can see, I'm doing quite a bit of damage to it. It already looks pretty beat up, and I think it's kind of interesting that it has like one electric balloon for its eye, or its brain, or whatever you want to call that. So I think it's really cool. I enjoy the design, even if it's not as EOMG. Which makes me feel like they should add either some kind of like DLC patch or some sort of special level where you can play like a whole nother zone, and then the boss of that zone is a ZOMG or something. Maybe not just a ZOMG, like a ZOMG encased in lead or iron or whatever. Basically just to make it look cooler, but still be a ZOMG. Because this, as far as I can tell, is not a ZOMG, like I've already said. Just some giant metal balloon thing. Which again is kind of odd. And I don't know if I've mentioned this before in any of my episodes, but the term Led Zeppelin, which isn't really like a term, it's just the name of a band, but that band, I guess, sort of inspired Mythbusters, if you know about them. to make an episode where they tested if you could actually make a balloon made out of lead, or at least, okay, so Led Zeppelin, I take that back. Maybe they didn't inspire that, but there was something about lead balloon, or maybe not lead balloon or iron, I don't know, some kind of metal balloon. I'm pretty sure it was lead, but maybe not, maybe aluminum. And like I said, I kind of take that back about what I said about Led Zeppelin. I just remember they made a joke about Led Zeppelin after they finished, and I almost put up that MOAB a little too early, so I was kind of really lucky. I was kind of expecting just to damage the boss with it and not actually do anything to the actual metal balloons that it shoots out. But anyways, they made an actual, I'll say a lead balloon, or a lead balloon. I don't remember if it was lead or some other metal, probably aluminum or something lighter. But they were able to make that balloon float and fly and stuff, which I thought was pretty cool. Which, you know, may or may not be the inspiration for this, probably not, but I think it's interesting to talk about nonetheless. And just collecting all these red blops, and I don't remember how many blops I started with, but I'm pretty sure it was like under 1,000. So this level gives you about 2,000, and you might see some blue blops in there, and I think that's just because of the way the boss level works or something. I don't know, but to me, this was kind of a lackluster ending. Like, it was just sort of like, yeah, you beat it, as if it's just some other level, rather than, oh hey, you beat the game type of thing. So yeah, like I said, that's kind of lame a little bit, but just gonna go back again and play through it one more time, because that's what I do and stuff, and do it on software. And then I have enough money to get the blop magnet to increase my radius, because someone suggested that I get that one first. And I agree, that would be better, because then it helps me get money faster, or get blops faster, which is, you know, cash or whatever. So that is helpful for doing all this. And I tend to go with that kind of upgrade first anyways, whenever I'm playing a game like this. Whenever you have upgrades, I always upgrade the cash flow, or the get more money type of thing. Not sure if it's just because I'm greedy, or because I somehow innately know that it's going to be more efficient, I suppose, to have more money. Also, something I should mention, I don't know where the golden balloon is in this level. Maybe there isn't a golden balloon in every single level, but I would think that there would be a golden balloon in the final level, and I've never been able to find it, so maybe you can see it somewhere where I haven't been noticing it, which I would think is unlikely. Not that it's unlikely that you would see it, but that it's unlikely that I would miss it, just because of, like, me popping every balloon on the screen. It does seem kind of odd that there's no golden balloon, but, you know, hardest level, or last level, so trying to make it the hardest level, I suppose. Let's see, just using the MOAB to sort of get my way back into that little stream, even though it was already pretty much over. And now that kind of basically just used up my MOAB before I was able to fight this little mini-boss thing, which isn't that bad, because as you can see, or now you can see how well you can or can't beat it without the MOAB. It's obviously not that strong, or there's not that many balloons, I suppose, but definitely those streams can distract you, I suppose, from getting the rest of the balloons. And yeah, that MOAB didn't do too good, because I had already popped most of the balloons that it could already pop with the MOAB, and the other balloons that were just sort of hiding up there at the bottom of the screen, or top of the screen, not the bottom, made it kind of hard, or not really hard, but useless, not useless, less effective to use, and I probably should have just saved it for this one, rather than use it on that other one. Now these waves of balloons that it sends at you right there, I'm guessing maybe some other attack type, some other skill set might be better for that, I suppose, but I mean, it does pretty alright. My current setup with the spiky shots and the solid doom, which again isn't exactly solid doom, but it's pretty good. It's a pretty strong weapon. And again, I want to point out that in software, it doesn't, like, your attacks don't shine, not shine red, but turn red when you're using the research for when they're able to pop other balloons or whatever. And see, that MOAB, or however you want to pronounce it, I suppose, wasn't really able to pop that lead part which is kind of weird, because I'm guessing it's just because it can't pop every single balloon on screen. And another thing I want to mention real quick is that someone commented saying that the Moab was basically a ground zero ability, which it basically is, which I think is pretty interesting how they sort of use the ground zero ability basically in the form of the Moab. And you might be wondering why it's sort of invisible. Not really that it's invisible, but the phasing balloons that were introduced in what was it, Zone 2 in the desert area. Not sure why I got the jungle and the desert confused, but those phasing balloons are pretty much invisible when you're using software mode. I'm not sure if it's that they're mostly invisible or like sometimes they're not invisible or whatever, but basically the phasing balloons are invisible when you're using software, just because of the way that works, I suppose. And I'm not sure if software works differently with some people. I don't know why I thought it might or something. But yeah, for me at least, it doesn't do that. And then also the bosses, they don't really like flash a different color or like a flash white when you're hitting them, so you can get a better view of what the boss actually looks like when you're doing it on software. And yeah, just throwing that out there, something to talk about. Now, this isn't the end of my Bloons Super Monkey 2 Let's Play, because there's still a lot of other things that I could show you on this game. One of which being the other upgrades, the other tech trees, I suppose. Not really tech tree, but the other upgrade routes, or whatever you want to call them. And then also the research, which I'm probably going to be playing this game a lot off-screen. Probably not too much, but just grinding for the extra money, the extra blops, because this is the final level. So there's no other level where I can get a bunch of red blops to farm cash or anything. And there's not really anything new level-wise that I can show you. So basically, unless you have requests for me to specifically show you something, after this, I'm just going to farm a bunch of blops on a place that I'll show you after this little level, after I beat the boss again. But then I'm just going to finish off the research, and then probably fight this boss again just to show you the difference that it makes. And then after that, I'm going to go back and try to get diamond on all the levels. At the very least, I'm going to try to get 100% of all the red blops, and then if not, try getting diamond on the first 2 or 3 zones. I will try to get diamond on these final zones, but that's going to take a lot more power than I'm used to, because I've never actually gotten diamond on diamond rank on all of these levels. I have for the first zone and for some of the second zone, I think, but you might want to just watch someone else do that, because I'm not very good at it. If anything, I'll show you a link to a video where someone else does it. So that's 100% of the red blocks, which is nice. Upgrade, let's see, 3,500, so I don't have enough yet. Alright, so if anyone missed it, at the end of one of my other episodes, which, I mean, I guess you would kind of miss it at the end of this episode as well, but the way that I farm for blops is I go to this stage, even on software, works better because then it moves faster, and obviously I've beaten this level before, you've probably seen it in one of the episodes, and basically what I just do is get through this beginning part, if you remember the level, just where these manta rays or stingrays are, and then once it gets to where those rings of what are they, glass and lead and ceramic balloons, kind of hard to see the ceramic underneath all the glass and lead, but once you get past those and it starts having those green balloons sort of on the side of the screen, sort of like a cavern or crevice or something, or crevasse, or however you want to pronounce it, that's usually when I'll just restart the level, because I can usually get about 1,000 or 1,500 or like 1,500 block cash from that. So then that only takes about a minute, maybe a little over a minute. So you're basically getting 1,000 blops, or 1,000 cash per minute, which is pretty good. I don't know of anywhere else that can get you that kind of cash in this game. Excuse me. So this is basically, like I said, where I farm. And you get a chance to use some golden balloon upgrades, and the game always sort of lags when you use the tech tree, or at least when I use the tech tree golden balloon upgrade, just because of the way that the attacks work, and it bouncing around everything. So it's not quite as effective as if I was using just my normal upgrades, because it's not able to pop all the glass balloons, but it does help a lot with all the non-glass balloons. It just destroys everything, basically. So once I get to about here, maybe after this one more ring, then once the green balloons start to show up, then that's usually about when I've collected about 1,000, maybe 1,500, and then I'll just restart or replay the level. And then you can even just buy your research after that. So that's going to be pretty much it for this episode. I'm just going to do some more grinding off screen, and then in the next episode, I'll show you the research that I've had, or that I've collected. Let me know if you want me to get all the research, like all the research that I've already started, and then show you in the next episode, or if you want me to show you in like little bits or like progress or whatever. I'll just get a bunch of money, and then when you reply in a comment telling me what exactly you want to see, then I'll record that episode or whatever. So that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.